Today's the first Sunday of the church Christmas season. It's a season that we call Advent, which means the arrival or the coming. And our theme as a church this Advent is a season of good cheer. And today I wanted to begin this season with a devotion. And in this reading from Luke chapter 1, we're shown that Christmas is about cheering one another on. A few days later, Mary hurried to the hill country of Judea, to the town where Zechariah lived. She entered the house and greeted Elizabeth. At the sound of Mary's greeting, Elizabeth's child leapt within her, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. Elizabeth gave a glad cry and exclaimed to Mary, "God has blessed you above all women, and your child is blessed. Why am I so honored that the mother of my Lord should visit me? When I heard your greeting, the baby in my womb jumped for joy. You are blessed because you believed that the Lord would do what he said." A bit of background to this is that Mary has just been told by an angel, a spirit being, that she, though a virgin, will soon give birth to the Son of God. She's also been told that her relative Elizabeth, a cousin or an aunt perhaps, will finally give birth to a child despite many years of being barren. And so it seems that without telling anyone else this, she rushes to Judea to see this relative of hers. And you can imagine Mary's swirl of thoughts on the way. Is this true? Is God faithful? Will Elizabeth be pregnant? And if so, does that mean that the angel was right about my news too? Oh God, I believe you, but I could really just use a human to talk to about all this. And you can imagine the peace and joy that rushes over Mary when Elizabeth sees her and immediately tells her that God has indeed been faithful. God has blessed you above all women, and your child is blessed. You are blessed because you believed that the Lord would do what he said. The Holy Spirit led Elizabeth to say the right thing at the right time. It's the epitome of the saying from Proverbs chapter 16. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. This exchange reminds us that to receive encouragement from God is one thing, but we often need to hear that encouragement from God from a fellow traveller along the journey. We know that God is faithful, but on our own, it can feel like we're going a little bit crazy at times. So we need to hear from a godly friend those same words that Elizabeth passed on to Mary. You are blessed. You are favoured. You are seen by God. Keep believing that he's faithful. He's able to amaze you with the wonderful things that he's capable of. See, we want to be a church of people who not only speak to God one-on-one, but we want to be a people who cheer one another on in the things of God. We want to be a people who remind one another of God's faithfulness, reminding others through word and deed that they are seen and loved by God. We'll be encouraging Elizabeth, Fatima and Mamuna in this way this afternoon as we help them with some yard work. We're saying through our actions, you are seen, you are valuable to God. But who else can you cheer on today? Think of a fellow Christian who may need just to be reminded that they are valued and seen by God. Maybe they're not going through a particularly difficult time or anything, but regardless, send them a text or write them a letter this week. Say whatever the Holy Spirit might lead you to say. Something like, "I'm thankful for you. I'm praying for you. I'm thinking of you." Mary and Elizabeth remind us that this is a core part of what Christmas is all about. Turning to one another and cheering one another on, pointing each other to God's faithfulness. Let's do that today. Let's do that this week. God bless.